Hello everybody, welcome along. How are we doing this evening? I'm just getting myself back onto the server because I forgot to activate some of the new mods. But that's all done, and now we can get things started. There we go. All logged in. Just need to sync up the time again because I was a little bit behind. There we go, we're back on. Hello, how are we? Hey Jude, welcome along. Blackmere, welcome along. I hope you're both doing well. It is Saturday again. We are on the community multiplayer here on the main Virtual Farmer YouTube channel, as we are every Saturday at the moment. And we're going to crack on with some seeding today. So let's switch over to here and get started. Right. Feels like deja vu, second time loading line pallets. Speaking of which, we are going to go over this way. And we are going to be seeding today. We've got our John Deere seeder here. It is all loaded up. And yeah, we're going to go and get our field planted. As you might have seen from the hastily put together thumbnail earlier this evening. And this means that, now can I plant barley at this time of year? I'm considering, it's either wheat or barley that I wanted to plant. And I think I'm going to do spring barley. Yeah, I'm going to do spring barley. Spring barley, sunflowers, and something else, I think, on our farm. Hey, Robin Limberg, welcome along. Culchy, welcome along. An early ad break. Right, let's crack on. Hey, Culchy, welcome onto the server. Yeah, so plan very much is get this planted today, and because Jetsy's was on here, so if he joins again, because I had to kick everybody off, then I will, then he can roll behind me. We'll get a roller out on here. Right, I think we want to try and do about 2 widths worth, so about there, down with this, and I think this is a direct seeder, this one. Either way, it's a very useful seeder, this one. And it's going to get in the, yeah, it's fertilizing fully and also doing the seeding at the same time, so it should be a 1 pass this, which is great news. Can't find server. It is there, Taz. I did have to restart it because there was some new mods that were added that that I hadn't restarted the server for. There he is. Early syncs means early adverts. Oh. Right, there we go. Yeah, your farm is huge, Taz, and the amount of money you've got on here is crazy. 700,000 is just a massive amount of cash. It's all those trees. It's that big set of trees that you had early on that you cut down and sold, I'm betting. Got you a lot of money. Whereas I just concentrated on the 6 fields I had here and expanded them out. Although nice big fields we've got. Don't know how much we're going to make on them. Sold chips for 5 million. Wow. Yeah. Woodland, the way to go on Ebony Island. Evo's joining. We're inserting a lot of early ads tonight. People say you shouldn't fertilize when you seed plant in PF. I don't know, Taz. I've not had that issue. I have I would always say put down slurry first, but I've no reason for not doing the seeds and fertilizer when you're seeding, fertilizing when you're seeding. I always think that that's an advantage to do that. And back out a little bit, and there we go. Yeah, that's about perfect. Don't know what rollers we have on this map. Whether we have some small rollers or not. We could really do with a set though. This shit I'm gonna have on my map. I hope it's Massey or Valmet. It will be a New Holland likely. I mean, what else dealership am I gonna put? It'll probably be a fake Ernest Doe one, to be honest. Being a big East Anglian dealer. I do want to set the map up. I had a genius idea because you can download mods with the map. I had a genius idea to set the farm up as my with the same equipment that we had at the time. So I would put two 7610s on there. So on console it'd be 2 Lizard 7610s, and on PC it'd be 2 of the Ford 7610s. Put a TX32 combine on there, and I think there's an 8340, so I might put put the 8340 on there as well. So basically as close as I can get it with my with the mods that are available to the setup my dad had in 1999 would be pretty cool to do, I think. So that's my plan as far as starting equipment goes. Because I think that would be a really cool starting setup and a little bit different. Otherwise, I'm gonna go with an equivalent modern New Holland setup on the farm. Would be what I'd go for. Evening, Eva Saxo. Hey, Beyond Now, welcome along. What I would recommend, Taz, is going over it afterwards. So you tend to end up with slightly under if you do it while you're seeding, and then I would go over it afterwards with a more accurate one. Yes, very true. If you're using precision farming, you will get a more accurate spread of fertilizer if you do it afterwards with the crop sensors on your tractor. It does require the crop sensors for that, but I would say still put the majority of the fertilizer on while you're seeding, and then go back over with the crop sensors and top up as needed. Good evening, Jessies. Welcome along. Evening, Rich Miles. Welcome along. Hey, Tractable96, welcome along. I'm doing well, thank you. And Farmer G, welcome along. Welcome along, Mark Craig. Do you still have the forage harvester on Spruce Mountain? I don't. It was too expensive to keep the forage harvester every month, especially when it was underpowered for what we wanted to do on there going forwards. So yeah, we got rid of the forage harvester, and I'm looking to get a new one, or at least lease a new one when we start this year's harvest. Which actually is a good point. I need to make sure whatever I do money-wise, we keep enough money back. But we should do. The amount of silage we're selling off should easily mean that I've got enough money to go into this year's harvest. And I realised that I've got a whole load of fabric to deal with as well. We have a whole load of fabric that we've created down at the spinnery from the cotton. Because we're basically looking at delivering one cotton bale down there a year. And so that's going to be something we have to sell at some point. Come on, is this good enough? Yes, it is. Yeah, far enough over to close that gap up. One thing this does tell me is that the amount of space I've got at each end of the field is very different. Just check the Discord and the info still isn't showing. Are you, so on the Discord, are you marked as a as one of the things to join? Hey, Hogan Gamer Fowley. That's sad, and I am sorry for your loss. But however, please don't shout at me. There's a good attachment for the harvester that picks up silage from the pit. Ooh. Well, the thing is, Mark, that might be something that we can use next year. Although, having said that, the issue that I've got, as I mentioned, is I think we're going to have to get a wheel loader anyway. Simply because when we get the BGA, we're going to want to have something that fills up the BGA, not just fills up a trailer. I didn't, Robin. How old am I? How old do you think I am, Robin? Have you not asked? You've asked this question before, haven't you? Yeah, Miss 21, perpetually 21. Actually, we're a month from my birthday. I don't know what day of the week my birthday is this year. Oh, yes, I do. It's a Monday. So the birthday stream will probably be on the Sunday night, maybe. I don't stream on a Monday, so... because I'm normally D&Ding on a Monday. However, actually, I should mention, I don't normally stream on a Monday, but this stream next weekend will be on Easter Monday because I am away all weekend, and I'm back by Monday evening, and I'm not D&Ding on Monday evening. So Monday evening not next week, but week after. So Easter Monday. I will be streaming. We will be doing community multiplayer on the Monday night, and that is because yeah, I'm away for the weekend. Should be fine. We will be 3rd day of April in game as a result of that, but that's fine. We'll still be in the same month we normally would be for the Saturday night stream. Yeah, it's a little bit moved around next week. There's no stream on Victor Foxtrot next Friday, and Sunday's realism experiment will actually be happening on Thursday this coming week. Hey, Synthetic, welcome along. So the next, the Twitch streams for the next week will be tomorrow night, where we're restarting the realism experiment on the Oaks. And then Tuesday night, where we're continuing to build Foxborough Farm. And then Wednesday and Thursday night will be realism experiments as well. And then the next stream on Twitch after that will be the following Tuesday. So yeah, it's a little bit of a changed schedule this week. I should mention the other thing I need to mention for this week is I'm dropping down to 4 regular videos. So the videos I'm absolutely planning for this week are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for the coming week, and that is because my workload is just too high and I need to cut back. If I can add extra videos in, I will. I did notice that the forestry map that I was considering moving Forestry Fridays to is out, and if I have chance, I might try and fit in a Friday video. If that happens, then I might also shift the days that videos come out. So keep an eye on Monday for the schedule. Whatever I have got sorted by Monday will be what's on the schedule. And yeah, so fair amount of stuff to sort before then. But yeah, I need to reduce my workload. It's too high at the moment, and I need to realistically produce what I can in the time that I've got, and hopefully not be busting a gut to try and sort it, because that just leads madness and pain and things that I don't want to go through. Wheel loader is overkill. Your John Deere front loader attached will be fine for the BGA. Try picking up the pit silage with the forage trailer. With the forage trailer, well, we'll see where we are. I mean, if I can get the little John Deere to do the silage for the BGA, then absolutely. I don't want to spend money on a wheel loader if I don't have to. If I can avoid spending money on a wheel loader, I'll avoid spending money on a wheel loader. So we'll see how it goes. It's more at the moment, the wheel loader was more to do with the fact that it's I can get a 10,000 litre bucket on it, which I can't. I am not 21, Robin. Oh no, I'm more than double that. Where's your wheel loader for silage? I'd go for what's the biggest capacity. Well, the wheel loaders, I can get a case wheel loader on Spruce Mountain, which will handle with the silage fork. So it's not a huge wheel loader. I mean, it's a fairly small, older wheel loader, so it works perfectly for what I want. The advantage of it is obviously the extra size. It's not massively expensive to run, and we can use it for the BGA, and yeah, it would work perfectly for that setup. So, hey Cody, welcome along. There we go. Up to the end of that. If you like Farming Simulator, like this comment. Zero Earth Field Stones mod that came out at the end of FS19 is coming to FS22. Prefer that to the... I doubt it. With stones as part of the game, I very much doubt a Stones mod would be coming out. Did anybody see the April Fool's joke that went onto the mod hub today? Which I will freely admit got me. Absolutely got me, and I was really peeved. Because it was something that I wanted. And so I clicked on it. With Ciela's on 28 to 47, how old would I say I am? I would say I was closer to the 47 than the 28. My day's not been too bad. I've been sorting my passport today. Of course, my passport photo is awful, as everybody's is. So I sorted that. That's the last thing I need to get sorted for FarmCon. So yeah, £82 to renew your passport at the moment. Hello, Felix Farming Life. Welcome along. So yeah, I've got my photo done for that, and I've got the application off. I just need to send my old passport out, and then they'll send me my new one. So that will get posted on Monday. Working for a start from scratch, where I started with only a mower and a shovel. After 7 months in game, I bought my first tractor and about to create my first field. So much fun. Wow, that's proper heavy duty synthetic. That's not just a start from scratch. That's a proper homesteading, start from nothing survival setup. I love that. No. You should go back to whole macro. All my profits from silver run. No, as much as I love whole macro, it's way too difficult for the kind of game I'm trying to do. And I've played whole macro twice now, but it's very steep. It's an absolute incredibly long distance to sell anything properly, and I just wasn't having fun on a whole macro at the end of it. It's a lovely map, and if you are into your hardcore logging, I wholeheartedly recommend whole macro, because it is a proper hardcore logging map. But yeah, for me, I think my time on whole macro is done. Did I see your 2 messages back? I saw your one about the shop. It not being a vulture. Hey Ethan, welcome along. Yeah, if I have to choose base game equipment for my dad's farm, I will pick base game equipment that pays homage to the stuff that was on there during when I was farming it. So it'll be a bit of a New Holland setup on there. Tried to teach my grandma how to use an iPhone. Good luck. That wasn't you. What was yours, Jude? Hang on. Let me scroll back a bit. VF is 99. I did what you told me to. I connected my Twitch account to Discord and checked your Discord server. Still didn't show up after that. We'll have a look. I'll try and get on there and have a look tomorrow, Jude. Make sure it's the right Twitch account connected to the right Discord account. Maybe disconnect it and reconnect it. There's not much other recommendations I can make other than that. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused, Robin. Awesome, Ethan. iPhone at least is the one thing about an iPhone is the one good thing about an iPhone is the one reason why I don't like them, and that is the whole locked into a certain setup. You know, there's very few options on an iPhone for how it can be set up, as opposed to my Android, which I can customize however I want. And yeah, so there is that. Did I see your message just now, Robin? Yes, I replied to it just now. Oh, we're out of seed. Let's go refill. That's not bad. That's got most of that field done. That's actually really good. So I need to decide what crops we're going to have on it. We got spring barley. Can I do spring canola? Yes, I can. I can do spring canola as well. And I would like to do, I think I'd like to do sorghum. So barley, canola and sorghum are a pretty good set of crops to do here, I think. I'm not going to argue with you on that one, Mark. I'm sorry, I'm not an Apple fan. The interesting thing is, I think that there's a direct line that can be drawn between all of the horrible subscription-only walled garden setups that everybody is instigating these days. You can draw that line right back to Apple and the creation of the App Store and everything. It's just, yeah. Nobody owns anything anymore, and it directly lines all the way back. Right, we don't want water getting into our trailer. Is that going to open? Right, so that's the seed. Am I over 40 or under 40? I am over 40. Right, and up. Oh, no. So there's not enough seeds in this to fill this. Oh, God, there's not enough accuracy in my movements here. There we go. That's filled that up. We are going to have to go and buy some more seeds, I think. Robin, to answer your question, I am 2 months older than Star Wars. Maybe 3 months older than Star Wars. Star Wars came out in August, September, and I was born in May, so... yeah, I'm a little bit older than Star Wars. Same year. Good evening, Liam. Welcome along. Never watched Star Wars. I am off to Star Wars Celebration next weekend. I have a full Jedi cosplay. And I am having my picture taken with Hayden Christensen and Ian McDermott. So the Emperor and Darth Vader. It's very cool. I did see the April Fools on ModHub. Whopster has a lot to answer for. Because I want that mod. That mod is awesome. I have now watched this week's Picard, which is also excellent, and as a DS9 fan, as a DS9 fan, I love what Picard is doing. It feels like a proper sequel to TNG, DS9, and Voyager, which is awesome. Oh, is the sun coming out? The sun's coming out. Brilliant. I'll probably be able to get a couple of crops in today as well, because we've got plenty of time. Can't get the sorghum in today, but we can get the barley and the canola in. Oh, Wops has made some of my favourite mods in FarmSim. I mean, manual attach is one of his. Starting with Mirror Shot is definitely something, but seeing it start going somewhere is super fun. I haven't decided my end goal is. Do you know what though, Synthetic? The sense of achievement you must be getting doing that series and starting with so little, and then, I mean, you must really feel like you've earned your first tractor. I mean, that's what I would love about doing something like that. It would be to just get the most incredible sense of achievement. Even just buying it must, you know, a 60 horsepower old classic tractor for 5,000. You've earned that 5,000 to do it, which is yeah, which would be incredible. I'm really tempted. I want to do another homesteading series, and properly do it as, okay, I only have next to nothing, and do it, you know, exactly that kind of thing. My trouble is that you could do it where you start with just an old tractor. Still isn't there. I don't know what to say to you. We'll have a look at it. We'll try and have a look at it over the weekend. But your name should not be white on the Discord. Let me just have a quick look on the Discord. General. Can you just chat in the general discussions? Yeah, can you post something in the Discord if you haven't already? Because that way we can see what color your setup is. It may be that because you haven't posted in there, it's not twigged and therefore still white for some reason. Yeah, then the connection's not working. That's an issue between Twitch and Discord. That's not something I can do anything about. Yeah, it's still listing you as... Okay, I can see your name now. Yeah, you've got no roles in there. Although, it is showing you're connected to Twitch. It is showing that your account on Twitch is connected. Okay, I'll have a deeper look into it. Yeah, you are connected to Twitch. It may not be recognizing you as a sub for some reason. I remember Ox used to do rainbows on something. Yeah, beyond now. I think he still does. I think there's definitely a rainbow on Calmston. I'm just looking for your message, Robin. The modder that did the troll, though, is a bit of a troll. That's the last one I can see from you, Robin. No problem, dude. Now that we can see your accounts, we can have a look. Why has that failed to do that bit? What's going on there? Has that failed to do that bit? Is that saying that isn't plowed? That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to have marked you as trouble is that is something that's not something my bot does. That's something Discord setup does. Evening, Chunky Tanker. Welcome along. Oh, there we go. Whoa, there we are. You're either 43, 46, or 45. Yes. Yeah, I would guess his next map's gonna have it on as well. There we are. And there. Yeah, top end of this field is a little bit of a wobbly shape. But we're okay. Wow, it's taking a while for the rain to clear, isn't it? You're spot on, Robin. No, the TLX tanker still isn't working on Spruce Mountain. I have managed to get my actual tanker truck actually is rated for water, and I don't know what happened. I'm actually going to cover that in Tuesday's video. But the tanker truck I've got does collect water from the lake, and so will work. And I've got the cows running again, but I didn't do it on video because I needed to do testing to make sure it all worked and everything. Right, so now we've got to do this headland because we've got double headlands. Oh, no. Slow down. There we go. Then, once we've done the headlands, we've got to make sure we don't end up in the top corner. That's the only thing. Should be alright, though. Alright. Off here. Hey, Farmer Fox, welcome along. Have I set up the oaks, or I will be setting up the oaks, so I won't be buying any land. I will have the cows in the cow pen though, and all my equipment in before tomorrow night's stream, and then we'll buy the land and get everything set up. I don't want to spend the entire stream driving equipment across the map. So I'm going to get the equipment up to the farm and set up. Well, and as in, you know, actually up there, and then we'll buy the land and do all the setup for getting things. Because it'll be January, so we'll have a fair amount of stuff to do. And then the idea will be that any fields of ours that we buy that don't have any crop in them, we'll get planted come March. But yeah, we're starting in January because that's when we ended on Palmston. There we are. That is going in there very nicely. Let's drop the gear down. That's got it. Plants potatoes in my fields before. If they do, then I'll have to deal with it. Right, I'm actually going to go down the far end of the field. Otherwise, we're going to end up finishing in this corner, and I don't want to do that. Go. I'm actually playing 6 Ashes on FS19, having problems with PS5 games. They overheat your PS5 and the console goes off, so not playing 22 at the moment. Oh no! If I had my time on 6 Ashes again, I know where I'd start. I know exactly how I'd do a start from scratch on there. Or even a realism experiment. I would love to do a realism experiment on 6 Ashes. Oh, that map. Yeah, that map would be awesome for a realism experiment. And you could build a proper from you know, proper farmyard from nothing. I also have story ideas for that map for a role play, and oh, Six Ashes is just... Six Ashes is a gold mine of a map. It's so flexible and so interesting. I mean, it's also a cracking multiplayer map. Yeah, well, I spent, what, 125 episodes in FS19 on that map. Just absolutely loved it. Right, we've got all the barley in. That's good news. Maybe we can get... I've got two choices. I can either go and get the canola planted, or... we can pop up and get a roller. What roller options have we got on here? Oh, wow. Oh, there's a 4-meter ring roller. Okay. We could go and get that on our little tractor. Maybe. Yeah, that is not expensive. The old version of it, which is a little bit rusty, we could go and use that. That would work. Oh my lord. That's lag. That's not anything else. Latest TLX came out, so maybe he'll look into the tank problem. Hopefully, because it takes the 3,500 tankers. So, not at the moment. Lots of people kidding GB about bringing Six Ashes to FS22. And I would love to see Six Ashes in FS22. Right, we'll go park this in the other shed, or in this shed. There we go. Fill that up before we use it again, but we need this, and we need to go and do some rolling. So let's grab this little tractor. This has the auto gears as well. Yeah, it'll take the tail, but does not have its own tank. Yeah, so it doesn't have its... Yeah, I did realize that. So the 3,500 tanks need fixing. But trouble is, I'm not sure, because I've had several people tell me they're not having problems with the 3,500 tanks. So it's possible I've got a mod conflict. I need to go and check that out. I am a couple of months older than the original Star Wars movie, and that's now called A New Hope. Yeah. No word beyond anything that Oxy has released publicly. I don't have behind the scenes access to it or anything like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Court Farms. Court Farms is looking amazing. I think Court Farms is gonna be Oxy's best map he's ever created. I really do think it is. It's gonna be interesting. Hang on, I am not by a huge amount though, Culchy. What, the internet is 1981, I want to say? Oh, it has its own tanker setup. Oh, sorry, I thought you said it didn't, Blackmere. So it does have its own tanker setup. Okay. I will use it at some point. Bed 7 variations including forage transport function, a tanker, and a livestock transport supporting all animals. Yes, chickens and oh, I want actually in that case, Blackmere, I wonder as it supports a 3500, does the 3500 support its attachments? Yeah, Court Farms has it. It just sounds like it's got an amazing setup. It really does. Haven't tried it, still using the 2020. I really like the 2022, but I've not had much chance to use it yet. I do like the cross compatibility in all his recent ones though. It's very cool. Oh, somebody else has got their hands on one of the John Deere seeders. Hello, Linless. Linless. Right, rollers. Yeah, those are all too expensive. You can't change the colors of them. Okay, I'm gonna spend a little bit of extra money and get that. The other thing I want to pick up while I'm up here is added these in. Oh wow, they're slightly more expensive than I thought. How much horsepower does this little tractor have? 95. Okay. So I can purchase, or I can lease, actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Design color. Oh, right. That's that spot there. Yeah, we'll go complete red. Yeah. Fourth plate. Yes. Green logo. Go back. front. Both logos. So that will be 7,000. Okay, I'm going to... The least cost of that is nothing. 9 man. Thank you, Ethan. We're going to be using this purely for making silage. So I'm going to lease it for now, and then we can always get another one. Okay, we'll come back and collect that in a minute. Because I need to go and get rolling. I could have leased the ring roller as well, to be honest. Ooh, are you having fun with this? Do I need more weights on the front of my tractor? Might do that while I'm up here. What do I think of Rogue One? I love Rogue One. Rogue One was awesome. Right, customize. Can I put... Oh, it's either a no or a yes for the front right. Okay, fine. Fine. Oh. Customize. I've got narrows on at the moment. So narrows, standards, wheel weight, wide tires. Okay, we'll put some standard wheels on it then. Best Star Wars movie? Ah, see, I'm an Empire man. I love Empire Strikes Back. It is, to me, it is the best Star Wars movie, Empire. Without a shadow of a doubt. So the reason why I hired the mower and bought the ring roller is because we've got to be able to afford a baler. No, we've just got to be able to afford a baler. I'm currently working, my wife and I are currently working our way through Andor, actually. We're 3 episodes into it. We just finished Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was a fantastic series in the end. It was a little slow to start, but there's a lot of great stuff towards the end of it. We're currently watching season 3 of The Mandalorian, which is fantastic, as The Mandalorian has been the whole way through. Yeah, and we're currently working our way through Andor as well, my wife and I, because Andor is way too adult for the kids. Mandalorian is on the cusp. Oh, I met Dave Prowse. He was lovely. He and I saw him and Kenny Baker together a few times, and yeah, they were great to see together. We've got tickets to one of the talks next Sunday which is Ian McDermott, Gwendolyn Christie, and Ray. Ray Park, I think. Oh no, Andy Serkis, which is just fantastic. Really looking forward to that guest talk next Sunday, or a week on Sunday. And then photo with Hayden Christensen and Ian McDermott is going to be awesome as well. Where's your message, Robin? Rolling up. Can say Court Farms will have a donut shop. Yes, I saw that message. I commented on that message. Right, yeah, so we want to get the barley rolled in now. And once we've got that rolled in, we can then get... Well, if we have time... I think we'll go and grab the equipment we need for doing the silage. Because we've got... So if we can plant Kelowna next time, and then the sorghum the time after that, that's going to be our 3 fields done. And done nicely. You're younger than Empire, but younger than Return. Well, if you're younger than Return, then you're going to be younger than Empire. Right, this is only 4 meters. So, yeah. And hopefully this is going to get rid of these stones. I don't think any of these stones are bigger than small stones, hopefully. Oh yeah, that's working. Oh, it was about FS22 having a telehandler. I missed that one then. I did see that there were fact sheets out for FS23 on Friday that I completely missed. It's leaving. I'm still not in the right place. Because it's leaving stones on them. How do you comment on a message? Don't know. Depends on what message you're commenting on. Yeah, about that I think is good. Maybe a little bit back. Are some of these stones medium because they're not getting caught? No, they are small stones. I'm just not overlapping enough to get them. That's a bit weird. How did you comment on my message about court farms? In here, I spoke about it. Fairly sure I did. Definitely read it. That stopped very suddenly. Hey, Lydia! Welcome along. Whoa. Come on. And down. How do I know someone commented on your message? Well, I don't know. Listen to it in the stream. English only, please, Lydia. I'm sorry, I do not understand otherwise. Yeah, it's not quite as wide as the... Yeah, because it's not picking up... It's not picking up the very edge ones. Even if it shows the rolled setup on them. But it is 4-meter roller. I just have to have some overlap, I think. Tell you what, the lag is playing havoc with me at the moment, though. Welcome along. Recommended map for small to medium equipment that looks pretty and feels alive. Also has pre-made farms on start from scratch. Small to medium equipment, Sincali absolutely fits that bill. Attingham Park, also a good choice. There are several places on Attingham Park you could start with small to medium equipment. Where else? Oh, where else would I suggest for that setup? Those two are definitely the two straight off my top of my head. Oh, Oldstream Farm. Oldstream Farm, fantastic for that kind of setup on start from scratch as well. I have not heard of Ozada? Mini Brune, yeah, Mini Brune's a good map for that. Small, proper small map as well. I don't think recently if there are any maps that I've played that fit that, or that I've done first looks on that fit that bill. Bally Spring is a good one. It does need an update though. As nice as it is, Bally Spring is definitely in need of an update. Doing his vintage survival. Oh, is that where he's doing his vintage survival on? Because I didn't recognize the map. Because it's tough to tell with his stuff. He seems to have stopped mentioning which map he's doing stuff on, which is interesting. At some point, I'm gonna have to look at the public stats, see how his views are going. But he's definitely stopped. There's two things I've noticed in his thumbnails at the moment. One is that he no longer mentions it's Farming Simulator 22. FS22 is not on his thumbnails at all, which actually I'm kind of wondering if that's necessary. It also isn't in his titles anymore. He doesn't mention FS22 in his titles anymore. Which again, another interesting thing. It's as if everybody knows his channel for Farming Simulator 22 and he doesn't need to put that on there anymore. Which is, yeah, that's kind of true. And I'm kind of wondering if the same thing's true for my stuff, whether I actually need FS22 on my thumbnails. Yeah, the VF logo, definitely want to keep that on there. Something that makes my thumbnails unique. My front wheel isn't moving. I should do a vintage. I tend to avoid using the word survival in any of my series titles. And vintage survival series, yeah, but I basically done a vintage start from scratch. Maybe that's what I should have called. The start from scratch on Attingham. But I'm wondering if, you know, calling my series by the map name is what I should be doing anymore. You know? That only works for a series immediately after the map is released. Why don't I use the word survival? Because Daggerwin does. And I don't want to appear to be copying. That's why my roleplay, although my roleplay is essentially a survival roleplay, I won't be calling it a survival roleplay. Because it also has certain connotations and expectations from people. So if I was to say, oh, I'm doing survival roleplay, one, lots of people will go, oh, you're just copying Daggerwin. And two, I would it would pigeonhole it to be to people coming to it and going, this is what this is going to be. Don't want to do that. I want it to be my own thing. So yeah, And my stuff is not about survival. My stuff is about realism. Version titles also helps those who just start watching your channel as to which version you're playing. Yes, however, I would say if a new version, I understand where you're coming from, Chantal. My old videos, once the next version of FarmSim comes out, my old videos rarely get views. My early stuff in FS15, most of my FS15 videos still have double figures of views. There are very few of my FS15 videos that have broken 100 views. There are very few of my early FS17 videos that have broken 1,000 views. Yeah, and it's actually, Duncan, it's one of those things that's still making me shy away from doing a series where I'm using easy, where I'm on easy economy. I mean, for a series, I kind of have to go on normal because things do just grind to a complete halt otherwise. But yeah, I'm not overly interested in playing myself on an easy economy, and I'm a nerd about this recently as something to move a series along quicker. But yeah, I'm not. It's not something that overly interests me, and if it doesn't interest me, it's not going to be an interesting thing to watch. My biggest problem at the moment is that I really want to wrap up what we're doing on Spruce Mountain and what we're doing on Attingham Park and move along to the next series, because, but in all honesty, views have dropped like a stone on both series. Neither series regularly gets over 1,000 views anymore, and I don't like finishing series without a nice conclusion. So at the moment I'm trying to work out what the conclusion for both of those series is, and then work out which map we're going to move on to next. It's not Purbeck, because Purbeck is where I want to do the role play, and I think the role play I'm looking at being out in May. So it may be a few changes and things. But part of the reason for dropping the number of videos per week as well is because I want to give myself time to develop other stuff. And at the moment, with a constant 7 videos a week, I can't develop other content for the channel. There is not the time there to do it. Yeah, it's the thing is, it's not for me either, Duncan. I end up being less satisfied with what I've done, and that's just a personal preference thing. That's nothing to say, you know, Daggerwin's wrong for playing on easy, because he isn't. You know, if that's the way he likes to play, if that's the way he wants to make his content, that's a perfectly valid thing. It's just not the way that I want to do it. The one I'm looking at is the one that got updated on Friday, because it's got the thing I think that I want to look at for the next forestry series is somewhere with plenty of productions. I don't want to just cut trees and deliver wood ad nauseum, because we've got £1 million to spend. It'd be very easy to do that on a map and quickly make money. This is we want to be investing in the area and making other stuff. But I think I need to give the forestry stuff a rest for a little while as well. I'd like to know which maps the videos are, see if it's in the title. Yes. Which is why I have it in the title of my series. And why I put it on there. Realism roleplay. I think that's probably where I'm going, FarmCatGR, to be honest. Your message, Robin. Why don't I use the word survival? Again, kind of got into that in depth because I don't want people to come in with a preconception that it's going to be identical to Daggerwin's setup. To struggle a bit. Yeah, and you know what? I enjoy struggling a bit. You know, if there's a little bit of jeopardy, if there's a little bit of okay, maybe I'm not going to manage this, I think that's good. I like the possibility that I might fail at something. And it's actually why I got very disappointed with myself when faced with failure in Attingham Park a couple of months ago. I decided to not let it fail, but go and do something that wasn't true, I felt, to the series. And so, yeah, the possibility of failing was one of the things that was so cool about the first realism experiment. The very first one I did in FS17. The awesomeness of it was that fact that we could and did fail to get stuff done. We did fail to harvest crops, and midnight rolled around and stuff withered. And I love that was a possibility that I could fail. You have goats and old tractors and combines on your map like Ballad Spring. I'm definitely gonna have old tractors and old machinery. The farm setup, Robin, is gonna be is it's gonna be realistic from the point of view of we're picking up a small farm, we are gonna have to develop it, and it's gonna be, the series is very much going to be about that, about the fact that we've picked up a small farm and we've got to try and make it profitable. What I need to go back and do actually is go back and watch my Ballincraig estate series, because I want to get back to the roots of that, where that was all about developing the farm and making something of the farm. So I want to go back to very much that kind of series. And have it a bit more like a vlog, and with some character interactions and things in it as well. So Yeah, I've got to work it out exactly how it's going to go. But yeah, Ballincraig Estate, very much my template for where I want to go with my role play. Sort of an improved and a new version of that kind of story. Because I think my role play's got very formulaic later on. And got very much more like my Let's Plays. So yeah, I want to get away from that and get back to the heart of it again. It won't be Eddie. I should point out it's not Eddie. If I was doing an Irish map, it might be, but it's not Eddie. I was trying to meant decorations. You're not gonna have. I'm not planning to have goats, but I am planning to have old tractors and things that maybe don't work, and yes, that kind of thing as well. In fact, I've downloaded a whole load of mod packs with that kind of stuff in. His cousin Edgar. Yeah, you see, I don't do that, FarmCatGR. I will never easy dev money into a series. In fact, Spruce Mountain at the moment, I don't even allow myself a loan. Spruce Mountain would be really easy right now because I could borrow 150,000, build the BGA, and there it is. But we've got no loan on Spruce Mountain. We're not allowed to get a loan on Spruce Mountain, which is what I'm loving about the series, because it is a struggle. It is a fight to get the farm built up as I want, and I'm absolutely loving that. And I think my main problem is I don't make a big enough thing about these. I think I might need a more regular introduction, maybe on some of these. So yeah, there are definitely things I can do to mention more of the. I think a lot of my setup information that might attract people to a series is missing from series. Who's Eddie? Robin, if you haven't watched my Ballincraig Estate series, I highly recommend it. Eddie was the character at the center of Ballincraig Estate, and then at the center of 2 or 3 more series after that. But Ballincraig Estate is the big one that Eddie was on. And is worth going back and watching, especially if you want to get an idea of what I want to do in my role plays. Because I'll tell you now, that is what I'm going to go back and watch. That is the stuff I'm going to go and get my inspiration from, is my own videos. No, it's his full name is Eddie Shearing, because the joke is people say I look like Ed Sheeran. So Eddie Shearing was my roleplay character. Back row. Eddie shears the sheep. Eddie had sheep and cows. Did he have chickens? Yes, he did, didn't he? I think. I quite like this old roller. This old roller's pretty cool. It works an absolute treat. And 4 meters means that it's not horribly small. I loved Eddie shearing. That's right. Yeah, it was very much, it was in the days, so it was FS17, so it was in the days before you could easily alter maps. And I spent a lot of time in GE altering Ballincraig Estate for the storyline. Which was, yeah. It's one of those things where I need to check on how malleable the yard I've chosen on Purbeck is. I don't think it is at all, which might be the only downside to it. But it's one of those. It was one of those things where I would still say now that it's an FS17 series, but I think that doesn't matter. It's a good series, and I would recommend, you know, people go and watch it, even being an FS17 series. Oh, the amount of stuff I did. I remember customizing the map to do the farm sale, and having to make walking paths for all the people to walk around the farm sale and things. How I ever had enough time in those days to go in and do a whole edit of a section of a map and then record afterwards, I do not know. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to be very similar with Purbeck, which as long as I don't alter the field setups, I should be all right. Yeah, and that's what I need to recapture, Chantel. I think a lot of my role plays after that didn't do that. I think I wasn't as effective telling the story. And so I need to get back to that effectiveness, which is why I want to plan out most of the series before I even start. Or at least the first year of the series before I even start. good to get some use out of this little tractor. Although I didn't realise I got 45 hours on this little tractor. It is quite, yeah, it's got quite a lot of hours on it. No sale items today at all. The other thing I should mention about what I'm going to do on with the roleplay is I'm not planning on having the HUD up. So it'll be in cab, it will be no HUD, and it will be absolutely a storytelling setup rather than a gameplay setup. We've run into the devs of SnowRunner and Giants got together and made an FS game together. It's one of those things, Cavalier Roy, where SnowRunner has farming in it now. There are farming missions in SnowRunner. And it kind of demonstrates a little bit SnowRunner's shortcomings in regards to doing that kind of thing with it. I still think, unless Giants have cracked it, which is entirely possible, because let's face it, Giants tend to do things that I think are impossible all the time. Unless Giants have cracked a way to do it, dynamic terrain in Farm Sim, I can only see as being a massive nightmare. Because as I said on many occasions, dynamic terrain in SnowRunner is not permanent. Does not remain in place on SnowRunner. So what I mean by that is if you restart SnowRunner, if you go out and you come back in, all of the dynamic terrain stuff that happened your previous game is reset. It's a bit like the tire tracks in FS. You go far enough in SnowRunner, you do enough movement in SnowRunner, and it resets. And you can't have that in Farm Sim. It's got to be, the game has to record that the ground has changed and keep it as changed. I didn't get far enough into cattle and crops to know if when plowing it did dynamic terrain. Yeah, exactly, Chantel. It's impermanent. It resets all the time. So you can't do that kind of thing in Farm Sim. And if you and that's just me thinking about single player. Multiplayer, for it to have to sync the whole map for dynamic terrain, you think it takes a while to get into a multiplayer game of Farm Sim now. Yeah, wait till you get into a multiplayer game with dynamic terrain where it has to sync all the dynamic terrain as well as everything else. Yeah. God, and I think that roller is from Ohio. No, it's just rolling in the small stones. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I I don't think the way FarmSim works and the way FarmSim's game engine works is compatible with the way that SnowRunner works. That's the thing. And as somebody pointed out, who was it? Somebody... Elm Creek JDS 7810 there already has 12. Obviously, I used it a lot. Someone said it'd be good by consoles. I don't think it'd be good by consoles. I think that's a very big reason why dynamic terrain is not a thing in FarmSim. I think it's just it would make it very, very difficult to get the game optimized for consoles as well. It's certainly, while we have the old gen consoles, not a possibility. Having said that, it is one of the most requested things for FarmSim, and it's one of the reasons why I would love to speak to the devs and why I'm looking forward to FarmCon, because I'm saying this from a point of view of this is what I see. I really want to talk to them. I really want to get their view on dynamic terrain and the possibilities or the impossibilities of it, because yeah, I'd love to get their thoughts, because obviously they know more about this than I do. And I'm not saying that I'd go there and I'd ask them, oh, is dynamic terrain going to be in the game, because I know I'm not going to get an answer for that. And even if I did get an answer for that, I could not tell you guys, because that would be a sworn to secrecy thing. But I would, yeah, I'd like to get a general feel of what their thoughts are on how possible it would be. Would it be something that you know, could at some point be in the game? Dynamic terrain is when you drive over the field, and it's and in doing so you get ruts, and you get and the field gets the terrain changes basically. I have messed this up. Yeah, I need to rethink how I do headlands. I need to go to the end and do 2 big C's. That's what I needed to do. Rather have more ruts. Yeah, I'd rather have more crops than ruts. Yes, there are things, as I said many times before, there are things I would like to see FarmSim do way before dynamic terrain. So many people would say, oh, dynamic terrain is the thing I really want to see in FarmSim. There are things I personally would much rather see first. More animals for a start. Really want to see more animals. I'd like to see turkeys, being a Norfolk boy. I'd like to see turkeys. I think goats are standard. I'd like to see baby animals as a standard thing. I'd like to see variation in animal breeds. So different breeds require less or more feed and produce less or more milk in the cows, for example. I would like to see... Oh, God. So many features. I would like to see proper grazing, and I'd like to see the ability to designate. I've said this one a few times now, actually. I'd like to see the ability to designate a grass field as an animal field, and just put down with the placeable systems the water trough and things like that, and then based on what you add to it, as you kind of have in FS22, Based on what you add to it, I would like to see then if you put a milking shed in, you get milk out of it, or if you put a you know, a shearing area for sheep, then you get wool out of the field. Things like that would be great, would be absolutely wonderful. You know, if you put a sheep dip in, it improves the health of your sheep. All of that kind of stuff. I would love to see animal welfare improvements. So you can have add-ons to your fields that improve the welfare of your animals. How awesome would that be? Other things I'd like to see. I'd like to see building repairs and building construction. So we've had it with the roller coaster. Let's see some, let's see it that if you bring metal and wood, you can pick up metal and wood and say, right, this is where the barn's going to be, and I have to deliver these products to the barn to get it built. Would love to see that. That would be absolutely awesome. And then you have upkeep. So you can either pay somebody, you can either pay for the upkeep to a building, or you go to the sawmill and you can buy wood to repair your barn. Yeah, Robin. And you'd create water holes and things like that. So you can see these are all things that, rather than just adding something that's visual and is just something that adds a little bit of a visual setup, these are things that add to the gameplay, and that's what I want to see. I want to see an increase in the gameplay, and we're seeing these kinds of things come into Farm Sim. I would like to see these things expanded and done more. Hello, Mackenzio. Welcome along. Right, that's got that field rolled as well. So that's good news. Yeah, Robin, that's basically what I'm saying. The big thing, so you could do it that there are certain areas that maybe you could possibly do dynamic terrain in the way that something like SnowRunner does. So if you're driving in and out of a bit of a field and it's wet, you maybe get a pothole driving into the field and things like that. But I think it would only be a sort of a half created thing if it was something like that. I think people would end up complaining because it wasn't fully dynamic, which is what they're after. But I don't see a way to do it where plowing does dynamic terrain or creating potatoes does dynamic terrain. That would be awesome. Don't get me wrong. To have proper potato mounds, proper potato hills, that ridges, that would be awesome. I don't see it happening. I think that is just going to create such a headache, especially as at the moment potato ridges are at. This is the thing. You talk it that terrain. You're then talking dynamic setup of things like potato ridges and plow lines and things like that, and at that point things again start to get really complicated. It's yeah. I think we're going to see FS25. I don't think Giants are going to leave it more than 3 years. 3 years has worked very well for them between 19 and 22. It's working well at the moment for 22. I don't think that they'll leave it more than 2 years. Oh, actually, I should wash these. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see more realistic repairs, unfortunately. The last thing I heard is that equipment manufacturers don't want to see their stuff in-game damaged or non-functional, which is why the game at the moment does the slightly half-hearted thing of only reducing the horsepower. The mod I'm running on my other stuff, which has actual breakdowns and means you can't move the equipment if you are if you don't have enough repair level on it. That is not gonna. That is awesome, and I love it. I don't think it's gonna be base game. Again, I could be wrong. That information. Oh god, that information was at the launch of FS19, so that could be woefully out of date at this point. Yeah, you don't actually get damaged trucks or anything like that in ETS. ATS or ETS. You know, you don't get dents and things. I mean, the amount of trailers I hit in Farm Sim, I should have dents all over my trailers. Right, let's reload this. No, I can't. Oh, I do need to go and alter my animal trailer on Attingham to see if I can get it to open with the open cover option rather than the other one. Rather than the unfold, because I really want to stand at the back of my animal trailer and open it from there rather than opening it from in cab. That would be awesome. No. Oh, you're trying to do the wrong one. That's right. That's the back one. I want the front one. Oh no, I want the very back one. That one. There we go. And forward a little bit. Oh. Yeah, I would like to see yeah, maintenance on tractors being a little bit more involved. So possibility of having to go and buy, and maybe not actually doing it, because I don't want it to become you know, farm mechanic simulator. But I would like to see the opportunity of going and buying oil filters and bits like that to service your tractor back at your farm. That would be cool. What mod is that for the breakdowns? Oh god, I think it's something like the extended repairs mod. I'm actually thinking of doing a video of all the mods I use for added realism, because I was thinking about it in the shower this morning. I have a whole pile of mods I go to add realism to my games, and I think it would be great to just do a video listing them. So yeah, I think that would be quite good. I think a similar video of just every mod I use in every save game. Because they've only just started doing different breeds anyway. Advanced maintenance, thank you, FarmCatGR. That's the one that you want. Hey, Culchy. Right, we'll close that up. Oh, yeah, let's do that now. There we go. There we are. Done. Right, I'm going to go down to the shop and pick up my new mower. And we might see if we can then go and pick up a new pick up a baler as well. I want one of the new wheel balers. Maybe add functionality to the repair station where you deliver pallets of parts. Yeah, exactly, Cable Roy. I'd love to see more stuff like that. Yeah, so if you take it back to, so that's actually the other thing I'd like to, and I was thinking about FarmCatGR. I would like to see a difference between taking it to repair at the main shop, at the main dealer, and taking it to repair at and to work on your own farm. I would like to see some things that can only be done at the dealers. And as you say, your tractor is off the road for X amount of time if you take it up to the dealers like that. Yep. Yeah. I think that's a good idea as well, Roy. You bought a repair pallet that made the vehicles unusable for a while. I don't remember that one. Saying your equipment is ready for maintenance and you have to bring it to the shop for a few hours. Well, you kind of do. I mean, that's what the maintenance bar is. Well, the thing is, I mean, the idea of having it so that your tractor is then unusable for maybe a day or so is quite cool, because you then have to carefully plan when you send your tractor in for repairs or a service. So if you wait till the last minute and it's off the road for 2 days or unavailable for 2 days, then that's a problem if it happens in the middle of harvest. But if it happens in the middle of December, that's not an issue. Something on my screen. You know, you'd be able to turn around and go, right, it's winter, I'm taking my tractor in for a service, and off it goes. But Blackbeard, it can all be the other thing is, I would say all these kind of options can be turned off. I mean, the same was said about Seasons. Seasons was absolutely said to be too complex for casual players. It has not put people off playing the game at all. And those who don't want to play with Seasons, they just turn it off. And all these options, you know, most of these options you can turn off already. Even the gears, which is something that most people would think are quite complex, are turned off. Why don't let me make sure. Be good to see if you need something in the winter. Your tractor, but your tractor's hard time starting. Why doesn't FS22 have more types of animals? Because it just doesn't yet. It's not. Yeah. Exactly, and I would like to see more customization actually in the game difficulties, because I think that start from scratch. I would like to see it that you can either choose a base start game difficulty, or you can go and adjust the start difficulty a bit from a base. I suppose you kind of can do that already, but you have to go in on the first day and then go and adjust everything. I'd also love to see the ability to, for lack of a better term, have a survival mode. Yeah, there we go. Great little mower. How much is the baler going to cost me? No, that's bale wrappers. We've already... Hang on, what? Again? This is the second week the Gareth DLC has failed to appear on the server. It is. Why is it not appearing? The Get Wheel pack is definitely enabled on the server, but it's just not appearing on the map. That's really weird. I'll have to hit up Dave. Yeah, that's very odd. Second week that's happened. Choose what amount of money you'd like to start. Also choosing in what month you'd like to start would be good. Guys, but we'll start from scratch with no loans. I love the ideas for the future. I need to come back and rewatch this live screen later, and then, or just re-record, or just go in and do an edit of it. Things I'd like to see in FS22 or FS next version of Farm Sim. Yeah, for some reason the Gorilla pack isn't working. I do want to have it on here. I do want to use the baler on here. Might have to remove it and re-add it. Well, at least we've got the mower. Check before I start streaming and give me a chance to look into it and see what happened to stop it from showing. Yeah, I will probably try and have a look at it tomorrow. But it's looking at the server, the dedicated server setup, it's enabled. So I don't know why it's not actually appearing on here. I do have a support setup, so I might try rebuilding the server, so backing everything up, getting the server restarted and rebuilt, and then go from there. Yeah, and then you can have it that, you know, if you go in as a new farmer, all of this stuff is turned off. All of this stuff is not required. It's one of those videos I've wanted to make for a while, and then I need to, what I need to do is rewatch, as I said, either edit stuff that I talk about in these streams, because I talk about it in these streams quite a bit, or I need to watch these streams, watch the relevant bits of these streams, and then go and write it down and talk about stuff that I'd like to see. More content. Oh wow, this is my game. Well, yeah, this is the kind of thing I used to talk to Giants about all the time when I was traveling for the FSL. And getting feedback, you know, getting people's thoughts on it. What's my view on the whole giant should only be allowing proper farming mods discussion? My view on that, FarmCatGR, is no, I don't agree with that point of view at all, ever. Because if people don't like a mod, if they don't like a mod, if they think a mod is not a mod that they would use, don't download it, don't use it. I'm a realism player. I am never gonna use an oversized massive header that takes an entire field. That doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't want to use it. And who am I to deny somebody a mod they want to use because I'm not going to use it? That to me is, well, selfish, to be completely honest. Yeah. If and then the main argument I see come up for non-farming or unrealistic mods not being allowed on the mod hub is always, why is this mod up here and not X, you know, why is X mod up here and yet Y mod isn't? And that's not how it works. That has never been how it works. That will never be how it works. Because a non-realistic, non-farming mod gets uploaded to the mod hub does not mean that another mod doesn't get uploaded. Mods get uploaded and added if they pass testing. End of. Yeah, exactly, Cavalier Roy. And one of the great things, one of the absolutely awesome things about Farm Sim is how flexible it is. You know, it appeals to casual players and realism players and everybody in between. And to deny someone a mod because they to deny a mod onto the mod hub because it's not thought to be realistic enough or enough of a farming mod just cuts off a whole load of players who would be interested in playing the game using that mod. Well, it's not even that. I mean, yeah, I don't think most of these non-farming mods tend to be fairly simple ones anyway. So it's not going to cause a massive delay in testing. I mean, what's an unrealistic farming mod? The biggest joke that certainly in FS19 was made. I don't know if it's made so much in FS22. Is 3-meter cultivators. How many 3-meter cultivators were there on FS19? Realistic, completely realistic farming mod. But we had about 30 of them. And the joke was, oh, another 3-meter cultivators out on the mod hub. And yeah, I joke about it, but you know, somebody's favorite brand may come out as a 3-meter cultivator. Yeah, do you want to deny somebody their favorite brand? If your favorite brand, a tractor, couldn't come out on the mod hub because there's hundreds of tractors out there, you know, that's you would be unhappy about that. Synthetic scripting. I'm gonna switch because I'm finishing off. Scripting on is not allowed on consoles. Is a requirement or a restriction set by Sony and Microsoft. It is not something set by FarmSim. So if you want to blame somebody for not having manual attach on consoles or similar scripting mods on consoles, look at the overlords at Sony at Microsoft, because that is 100% their fault. They do not want scripts on consoles because they think people might hack the consoles via a farm sim mod. Yes, that's what I said. Which I suppose it's possible, but it's a bit ridiculous. That's a little bit mad. Right, we've done everything we can do on the fun state, and it is 20 to 11. And it's been an interesting discussion. I've enjoyed discussing this with you guys tonight. Which is fair enough, Synthetic, and I do agree with you. It shouldn't be an issue. I do know people who do blame Giants for that, so fair enough. Robin, let me see if I can find. When you say comment on a message, I thought you click on the message and you could type an answer, but you just say, oh no, I talk. I'm responding to chat, Robin. When I say comment on it, I mean I'm commenting on it by talking. So yeah, thank you guys. I'm glad you've enjoyed tonight's stream. I've had a blast talking about this kind of stuff. People hack mobile phones. They could release a virus on console if they're clever enough. Yeah, Thefisherj, that's very true. Someone's play style is the player's choice, if you ask me. Absolutely, Cecil, and I agree with that completely and utterly. I will never judge somebody who wants to play farm sim as arcadey and ridiculously as they want, because I play, quite frankly, in a way that some people would consider to be ridiculous. I put restrictions on myself. This is actually the only game I know where I've come into the game and I've put restrictions on myself beyond the restrictions that the game places, because it makes it more interesting for me to play that way. And I love how flexible farm sim is. I love that I can come in and I can make a series that is, I start with no money in a truck, right up to I can put 100 million pounds into the game and buy every single piece of equipment I want and rarely have to repair it, and you know, and everything in between that is awesome. And it's one of the reasons I love farm sim, and it's one of the things that I see games that try to be farm sim miss. It's something that again and again and again I see games that are trying to be farm sim and trying to get farm sim's popularity, and what they do is they go, we're going to be restrictive and realistic, and you know, and we're only going to aim for this section of players, and they fail because they miss that broad spectrum of player base that farm sim can have. And yeah, I look forward to seeing a game that one day tries to replicate how great farm sim is by replicating that broad spectrum. And it's why you get so many different creators. I mean, you could not have DJ and Clutch and me and Daggerwin and Simulate and Landy Kid and Rainbow Dave and Red Dirt Ranch and Reaver and GD and all that, those different play styles in a game that wasn't this flexible. So yeah, it's why I love farm sim. It's why I've been able to play a version of farm sim almost daily for the last 7 years. You know? Anyway, speaking of flexibility in Farm Sim, the realism experiment's back tomorrow night. First episode on the Oaks. Come and join me over on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. We did make enough money to get the farm we wanted, which is brilliant. So we're going to get it all set up and get the realism experiment going over on that map. Tomorrow's Attingham Park video. I'm finally rebuilding the map. Rebuilding the map. I did forget, there are Christopher, there are so many creators in that list. I forgot. And that doesn't mean they're no good. That just means there are so many good creators out there that trying to list them all at once is impossible. Yeah, tomorrow's Attingham Park. I finally rebuilding the yard. A couple of little surprises in that. I hope you enjoyed that. I actually got to go and edit that straight after this stream. On Tuesday night, I'm going to be continuing to build my dad's farm over on Twitch as well. So come join me for that. And the next one of these streams will be a week on Monday. That is Monday the 10th of April will be the next one of these streams, because as I said, I'm away next Saturday night. So yeah, no stream next Saturday night, but we will be doing the multiplayer again on the Monday. So come join me for that. And yeah, that is it for this evening from me, though. I hope you have enjoyed this stream as much as I have. Huge thank you as always to all my patrons and channel members. You guys help this grow, this channel to grow in ways that I will be eternally grateful for. Your support means the world to me. The support of everybody who watches all the videos and streams as well means the world to me too. Thank you so much to everybody. If you have enjoyed this stream, please give it a like. Drop us a comment if you are watching the replay. And yeah, I will see you next time. Goodbye.